Hello and welcome to the Managed Wi-Fi category launch and demo day. My name is Emily. I'll quickly take you through how this session plays out. It starts with our CEO, Ravi Kumar Sapata, giving introductions of our platform, followed by the launch of our of the managed Wi-Fi category portal. After which we'll break into panel discussion with our guests. And the panel discussion is divided into two, and then it will be followed by demos. Each panelist will have 5 minutes divided into two. 3 minutes will be for pre-recorded demo, and then 2 minutes will go into a question and answer from our audience. And then so you'll be prepared with the answers. You can engage in this event by posting your questions in the LinkedIn Live comments, and I'll hand you over to our CEO, Ravi Kumar Sapata.
All right. We are finally here for the moment we all have been waiting since the last few weeks now. We have had more than 100 LinkedIn Live registrations, more than 300 people upvoting on the products that have participated. And the number of people online on proptechbuzz.com platform is also a record of sorts today. So what a build-up this has turned out to be. So hello and welcome to the day we were all waiting for with bated breath when we launched the world's only managed Wi-Fi portal powered by Community, where we showcase prominent managed Wi-Fi providers. It's also a great opportunity for the competitors and the ecosystem players to come together in an act of healthy cooperation to create awareness and accelerate innovation in this space. And kudos to all of you for running a spirited campaign leading to this day. Quite excited to kickstart the proceedings today. And before that, I would like to take a few minutes to introduce what PropTech Buzz is all about. So it all started with a question, right? Why an industry that has so much impact to the world does not have a social media platform of its own? Yes, there is LinkedIn, there is Facebook, but none of these platforms uniquely serve the needs of this loved industry. That's when we set out to build one for ourselves. There are many who ask us questions like, hey, you launch products, you get votes. Are you like Product Hunt? Somebody says, are you like Reddit for real estate? Are you like Amazon? While we appreciate the comparisons, but we are like no other social media platform because we are disruptive like no one's business. We are new age platform and we are writing our own new rules. They also said that B2B real estate platform cannot be engaging and delightful. And you know what? We are proving them wrong one step at a time. So today on our platform, we have close to 1,200 products. We have close to 10,000 members today. We have more than 66 communities, and we just hit our million views this week. Thanks for all the promotions that you have been doing in the last a few weeks as well. So with that, let me move to talk about what the social media platform or the super app is, because it's very easy to call anything a super app these days, but you need to define the boundaries of what the super app is. So as you can see here, our super app has 7 verticals, right? So number 1 vertical is to build the world's only Amazon-like marketplace for finding global PropTech solutions. From Cambodia to Canada, no matter where real estate lives, if they want to find technology solutions for their interest, they should be able to find it on PropTech Buzz. The second vertical is to become the Reddit-like platform where global PropTech real estate professionals engage in hundreds of forums. No matter which topic you are in, but you should be able to find a relevant space for you to go and have conversations and find your outcomes. The third one is an angel list like matchmaking between startups and VCs on the platform. The fourth one is, which is something that we have found a lot of success, is to build a Cvents-like platform where global events can be hosted. We have already hosted close to 7 international real estate events on our platform. So if you are hosting a real estate event and you're looking for an event app, you could use our app to manage that event. We have hosted events that are more than 600 people big. In fact, one of our large events is going to come in Dubai in the coming weeks. The 5th vertical is to become the business insider like Global PropTech Media. I just shared it on LinkedIn a few minutes ago that we have gotten a lot of success today. So if you go, no matter where you are, especially in the US, when you are typing PropTech news, PropTech Buzz is number 1 in Google search. It's a massively proud moment for us that we have been able to achieve that out of sheer hard work and the content and the relevancy that we have brought to the industry. So tomorrow, if you're doing any kind of press releases, you should come to us for the as a first choice, because we will give you eyeballs like no one else. The 6th vertical is to become the LinkedIn-like platform for recruiting global PropTech and real estate talent, and we are very bullish about it. But what I'm most excited about is the last vertical, is to become the Udemy-like platform for real estate educational courses. So this is something that we have already built, and you will be seeing us rolling out in the days to come. So with that, let's move to the next one. I think this is the one that I was talking about. I mean, you could try it out at your end, search for PropTech News, and you'll find PropTech Buzz as number 1 in search. So we're very, very excited about that. So while we are building this, this platform, we cannot build this platform without love, right? You cannot build something impactful without putting your heart and soul into it. And that's what we have been doing for the last 2 years. We have put everything in to build something that is really, really valuable to the industry. Our app, this is, I mean, if you have not yet installed the app, you should be there. The web obviously has richer features. On the app, we only have communities and the feed. That means if you are posting anything on the app today, you will find it on the app. But the parity between features of web and app is going to happen in the next a few weeks. Our app is getting a major overhaul in the next 4 weeks. So that is something that you should definitely install it now, so that you get notified whenever we are doing an upgrade. Sorry, I did not move my slides here. So this is the app. You can take a screenshot of this and use the QR code to install the app. With that, I would also like to talk about how we are organizing the fragmented global PropTech offerings. So real estate, being the biggest asset class, has the least technology adoption today, less than 1%. And the big part of the reason is there is lack of awareness, right? So people are struggling to find the right technology solutions because there's no one place where they can find, they can compare, they can have conversations with the sales and the marketing team or the leadership team and have informed choices. While conferences are great, there is also an opportunity for a digital marketplace where they can have similar business conversations for making business decisions. And that is where we are disrupting this by offering community-led, where people can have conversations with the leadership, with the CEOs, with the head of sales, marketing, and so on. So that is something that we are trying to attempt here. As you can see, this industry is there is no dearth of categories. We have product categories of all kinds, and my mind is boggled with the kind of categories and niches this industry is building. The other day, my friend in Hong Kong, he messaged me saying that, hey, do you have a category for facade inspection software? And I didn't know what is a facade inspection software, but it seems like because Hong Kong has a lot of skyscrapers, they need drone-based facade inspection. And now we are launching that category to cater to that niche. And then there is a guy from US who also dropped a message on our community saying that, hey, is there a site selection software for data center developments thanks to AI proliferation for chip manufacturing? So as you can see, the number of categories is massively growing, and we are doing our best to organize these categories. With that introduction, I move on to our panel today, as we dive into one of the most exciting and important shifts in the multifamily real estate, the managed Wi-Fi category. We all know connectivity has become critical to residents as water or electricity. It's no longer just an amenity. It's a foundation for both work and entertainment. And the question for owners and operators is no longer whether to deploy a managed Wi-Fi, but how to do it in a way that drives the resident satisfaction, operational efficiency, and long-term asset value. And that's exactly the reason why we brought together a group of eminent industry leaders and experts who are running cutting edge solutions and solving the challenge here, who are at the forefront of the transformation, and they are going to share real world experiences and lessons learned and practical guidance on how to turn Wi-Fi from a cost burden into a profit center. So with that, before I hand it over to our guest today, I also wanted to let you all know that on our platform, we ran for the last couple of weeks, we ran an AMA, Ask Me Anything, for all these managed Wi-Fi CEOs. For the first time, these CEOs came together and answered questions from the audience, anything that they wanted to ask, right? Usually CEOs and the founders are the busiest lot, but we got time from them and they participated in this AMA. So this AMA is still live for the next 1 hour. So please ask your questions and our participants will do their best to answer them. Excellent. So today's guest of honor is Adlin. Now again, Adlin is going to be the host and the moderator of the session today. A quick a few couple of sentences about Adlin. Adlin is a world-renowned wireless analyst and entrepreneur. He founded Maravedis, a leading analyst firm in wireless infrastructure. He helps clients make sound decisions regarding wireless infrastructure trends. He also invests in select tech startups. He founded Maravedis in 2002 that focuses on broadband wireless technologies with a particular expertise in multifamily connectivity, managed Wi-Fi, private cellular networks, and interworking of Wi-Fi with 5G. So that is about Adlin. And now I would like to share with you the winners of the Managed Wi-Fi Providers campaign. And I'm so delighted to share that Airwave has won this campaign. Of all the participants, they did a fantastic campaign in the last 2 weeks, and have gotten more than 110 points, out of which majority came from their customer reviews. They got close to 12 customer reviews. And because of that, every customer review has 5 points. So they got a bulk of that because of the customer reviews. Their page has also received over 1,400 views. And being on the top of the category portal will continue to get them more eyeballs. And that's why it's important that you have more scores, right? And I always tell him that he wasn't joking when he messaged me the other day and he said that, hey, how's my campaign going on? And Ravi, I like to win. And he achieved that. So massive congratulations to Ed and his team at Airwave. We also had a nomination for the most engaged managed Wi-Fi providers leaders. And this is something also which is very, very important, because I do not have to mention the power of founder brand and the CEO brand in today's business, right? People trust people more than they trust companies. And when a founder puts their name and face and voice out there, it humanizes the brand. It brings credibility and emotional connect. So kudos to Ed, again, for leading from the front. Our next engaged managed Wi-Fi providers leader is Taylor Jones and Kevin. So both of them have also engaged on the platform and answered audience questions. And also on the product side, they have done a fantastic job in being active and answering questions. So kudos to both Taylor and Kevin. With that, let me now share with you unveiling of the world's only managed Wi-Fi portal. So let me quickly share my screen here and show you how our managed Wi-Fi portal looks like. So you go to proptechbuzz.com, and under categories, you will find managed Wi-Fi providers portal. So you click on managed Wi-Fi providers portal here, and you will be taken to this portal here. The other way to go is also from categories on the top. You will find Manage Wi-Fi portal right at the top here. So as you can see, this is the portal. We have the introduction of the portal. We already have gotten around 12,000 views here. Already close to 160 people are following this portal. Okay, this is also great. And we also convinced Adrian to become the ambassador of this portal. So he becomes like a torch bearer of this portal, ensuring that the community is, so our mission is to build this into one of the largest communities for managed Wi-Fi providers in the multifamily and single family industry. And you can also, anybody who comes to the portal can also download the ultimate buying guide. We also have a few leaders here on the top, okay, based on how they have performed in terms of the points that they have garnered, in terms of the reputation in the market, in terms of customer reviews that they have got. So we identify the leaders in that space. It's also community driven. That means we embed all the communities, all the discussion forums that happened in this sector, and people can participate in this community. So as you can see, this is a community that is already embedded. That means anybody who comes to this platform and asks a question saying that, hey, there's a lot of options, but who has a better after sales support, right? So once they post a question there, an email is triggered and goes to all the people who are following this page. Or if you have a new product coming in, or you have some new innovations coming in, you can also post it in the community so that it goes out to these 160 people, eventually thousands of people in their inbox as an email notification. So that is where the disruption and innovation comes on our platform. So as you can see, Airwave is right in the top, and others are doing their best. So as I said, this campaign is not over yet, right? So for the next 1 year, you can do your best and bring as many customer reviews so that you can still strive to be at the top of the page. All right, with that, let me come back and hand it over to. Before that, I wanted to also let you know that on the app, we will have this managed Wi-Fi leadership chat room. This is a private chat room only for the people who are in this industries, VPs and above, CXOs, CEOs and above. And we have created this private chat room. In the next 3 weeks, you will see this chat room becomes even more better in experience. So I would urge you all to install the app so that you can be part of this chat room. So you do not have to share your numbers like WhatsApp. It is completely secure, and it also has a community of its own. Excellent. With that, I hand it over to Adrian. I will bring all the panelists on the stage, and Adrian can take it over from here. All right, so let me get in Adrian first.
Hello, Ravi, can you hear me?
Yes. And then we have, who else do we have? We have Ed. Let's bring Ed on stage. Excellent. And then let's get Dan. Dan is in backstage, right? Dan Mayers. All right, Dan is here. And then there is Patrick. Excellent. So Adrian, the stage is yours. Let me know if you want the screen share, or you want me to remove the screen share.
Yeah, I just have 40 slides. Is that okay? Just kidding. I know we're already running late here. So my name is Adlan Fela, Chief Analyst of Panavitis. Thanks, Ravi, for having me today. It's my pleasure to be moderating this prestigious panel. Just very quickly, I just want to present, our MDU connectivity research service, which is one of the reasons why I'm here today. Our industry analysts focusing heavily on multifamily connectivity. We have a subscription service which includes 4 quarterly reports where we dive into each of the subsegments from senior living, student housing, market rate, and affordable housing. One of the areas that we focus a lot is on the NPS score and market sentiment, along with what you guys are doing at Ravi. We also do surveys of property owners and residents to understand how each of the stakeholders from the MSPs and the wireless LAN infrastructure vendors are faring in terms of their market perception. This is quickly the schedule of the research program we have, where we start with the market rental report, which is the biggest segment in the industry. And again, if anybody's interested in receiving the slides, I'd be happy to share. Very quickly here, so we have what we call the market score, which is kind of the equivalent of Gartner's Magic Quadrant. We just have our own version here. So having said that, let me stop sharing. Can you stop sharing the screen?
Yes.
All right, so I know we are already running super late here, so welcome to my panelists. Each of I have spoken to in the past. So, there's a lot of talk about connectivity being, a necessity. I wanted to ask my panelists here, if in their conversations with property owners, is this that obvious that connectivity is valued, and do property owners understand the value of it, or do you still have to go through educating them about the benefits? I don't know who wants to jump first here. Maybe Ed. Congratulations on your results, Ed.
Thanks. I would say my perspective is unique because I was an owner-operator. This is one product that does not require a whole lot of education, with the exception of what truly is managed Wi-Fi. I think there's some misperceptions that, if a resident puts a modem, they think that's managed Wi-Fi, and it's not. So what you're seeing is a significant tailwind in this vertical. And I think that will continue because of the competitive advantage, the resident amenity, and the true opportunity for NOI lift and controlling their destiny.
Okay. I'm having a hard time hearing you. I don't know if anybody else has, but Dan, I know you're very averse to this space, and you and I had a lot of conversations about the differences between bulk internet and managed Wi-Fi. What do you want to share with us today?
Sure. No, I've been educating owners for over 12 years on the benefits of managed Wi-Fi and deploying. So a lot of the benefits are the fact that the entire system acts more like carrier class because you're building in managed GPS so that things don't go down, where typical traditional type of systems people were getting where the resident had to go get it or install it. And so they didn't have service when they moved in, had a modem and had a router. So you had 4 pieces of equipment in each apartment that could fail. So 2 power supplies and 2 devices. So you had a bunch of issues in the apartment. With managed Wi-Fi, where you're putting this ubiquitous wireless network up that has redundancy throughout the property. It's a much better experience for the residents. It's frictionless. It's easy to use. It's easy to hop on. They don't need to configure anything. They don't need to wait appointments for people to show up. It just works. And it's super easy for the property to deploy property tech across this network that's always there, and giving them the network that they need for the things that they need to deploy, like camera systems, smart locks, smart thermostats, and anything else, leak detection, anything else that they want to deploy across the property.
All right. Thank you, Dan. Patrick, nice to see you again.
Pleasure.
I know you have a big financial background, and so maybe a question for you would be, in your conversations with property owners, how do you quantify the ROI for managed Wi-Fi, and what metrics do you use to demonstrate long-term value?
So as Ed mentioned a moment ago, the NOI lift is pretty obvious. The difference between our wholesale pricing and what they charge on the retail end. The one component that isn't as obvious is, for the property owner, the return goes down to, it gets diminished. It could go down to 0 if they do not have the lease renewals. So a lot of what we focus on when we talk with our property owner customers and with prospective customers is around making sure that there is usage. and that looking at the usage rates, if the resident is utilizing the internet, they become stickier and it's a happier experience, and they see value for what they're paying in their rent. When they don't utilize it, it's just another fee. And the resident then on renewal could potentially leave their lease. So I would say usage, and then the other things such as NPS, ticket volume are really important to manage on a daily basis.
What do you mean not using the internet? Is there anybody out there that doesn't use internet anymore?
Yeah, but when think about it, with managed Wi-Fi and a bulk, the whole apartment complex is actually paying for the internet. What you want to make sure is the residents are utilizing that service and understand that service. And there is sometimes a disconnect when renters are moving in and not knowing what they're paying for in a potential bundled solution. And so what we want to be is really open and honest about it. Is we think you're getting great value for this amount, and we encourage you to use it. Also, in managed Wi-Fi versus traditional providers, our product is far superior. The experience is superior. You can go anywhere on-prem and enjoy the internet. And I think there is some confusion with some of the renters that thinking about what Dan mentioned is around being tethered to their apartment, or there's a modem, or they need something different than just logging on and a couple of clicks with managed Wi-Fi that they are actually signed up. And so we want to push their usage not only for them, but for every device that they have, especially their smart devices, and make sure it's connected and that we provide the reliable service.
Thank you, Patrick. Now, something that haven't heard is speeds. So Ed, can you tell me, how important are speeds for your residents, and how do you differentiate from the other MSPs?
Yeah, so the expectation is 1 gig up and down, but now residents are wanting the ability to buy up, and so 1 gig is 2 gig, 2 gig is 3 gig, and then if you're spending, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, we have one building where the penthouse is, $20,000 a month in rent, and they want 10 gig, and understandably so. Are they going to use all 10? Probably not, but it becomes a marketing and positioning statement and an ego for the renter to say, I'm renting this penthouse and I've got 10 gig readily available. With that said, if you can imagine, the average number of devices per unit is close to 19. Now you might say, how could you have 19 devices? Well, if you start to take inventory, it's not just your smart TV, it's not just your Ring doorbell, it's just not your Nest thermostat. It's your dishwasher that's Wi-Fi enabled. It's your oven that's Wi-Fi enabled. It's your iPad, it's your cell phone, it's your a plethora of devices. So today, 19 needs at least 1 gig of up and down bandwidth.
Thank you. What about you, Dan? How do you differentiate from everyone else?
Yeah, I mean, as we're going forward, again, there's been evolution, right? Over 25 years, there's evolution, and there will continue to be evolution. How do you keep your properties, competitive from a technology standpoint? Wi-Fi 6, so the technology of Wi-Fi 6 delivered about 300 meg per device over Wi-Fi and gig over, hardline. So to get gig and multi-gig deployed over Wi-Fi 7. So as people are deploying networks into 2026 and beyond, you want to be looking at Wi-Fi 7 networks, right? That's the next standard. That allows you to deploy multi-gig. Now, I will also say, as Ed mentioned, a marketing gimmick or whatever, most people don't need gig. Most people don't need multi-gig. There are a few, but rarely. And I would venture to say that if I put, people in an apartment that had 200 meg with low latency, no jitter, and someone in an apartment with gig or multi-gig, and they weren't allowed to run the speed test, they couldn't tell the difference. So it's really important when it comes down to latency and jitter that you handle that. And then the bandwidth's always there. So making sure that you're bringing enough bandwidth and bringing in redundant bandwidth, because fiber can get cut, right? So you want to make sure that you've got redundant bandwidth at a property, because the residents expect it to always work, always be on. It's more important to them than a roof over their head. So you have to build the network and the system right.
Thank you. All right. Patrick, I know you're coming from a business background. How do you address, property owners' concerns about, this deployment getting out of hand, complexity and cost, and that they feel, that they're doing the right choices?
Well, I think the first thing, it starts with design, is you have to come back with a solid design. And one thing that we do is predictive heat mapping to show them how the buildings will perform under the APs that are under scope. And then with regard to keeping it under design, is you have your ROM and BOM. And so up front, you're in agreement and alignment on expectations of not only how the network will perform, but also the cost. And then on the back end, it's really they need to understand what that experience looks like and what their commitment is and versus our commitment. Because one is we provide all the support once you're live, but we also have to educate the on-prem staff. The on-prem staff has to understand how this operates, or what ends up happening is you have a frustrating customer experience. And I do believe, as related to the last question, is the reliability and latency are incredibly important, more important than speeds. And that we have to provide that. But at the same time, is when something goes sideways, we got to ensure that the property owner understands that how we are going to address it or proactively address it.
Okay, thank you. Ravi, let me know when you want to start the demos, the product demos.
Sure. Could we take an audience question here? There is Tim Lemon, who is asking a question. If somebody wants to take it up.
Sure. So I can read your question. How do you support property IoT networks needs, irrigation, smart locks?
I'm happy to respond,
etc.
Yeah,
Is this common?
Absolutely common. We typically focus on the managed Wi-Fi, and we recommend that our customers use someone that specializes in these different types of things. But we make sure there's wireless coverage or hardwire connectivity. Certain things need like camera systems, and NVRs and things need hardwired connectivity. HVAC, smart locks, and whatnot are going to be on the managed Wi-Fi network, but we'll spin up separate SSIDs to deploy their technology on.
Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, so just think about the managed Wi-Fi powers the on-prem devices. It's the center of the technology on property, and it can handle any of these devices. And today, all of our deployments, Dan's and Ed's and mine, we power those properties.
I have a follow-up question on that. Do you need OpTech to make the business case profitable for property owners, or just managed connectivity is enough for the managed Wi-Fi? Maybe Ed or
I mean, we go through a pretty illustrative analysis with our customer to explain to them what the return on investment is, what that time period looks like, because again, it's a hefty CapEx that they need to come up with, whether they're paying or whether we're financing it. And so, you always have to be able to demonstrate the ROI. And so it's consultative. You have to explain to them the value, that return, and the benefits in order for people to get comfortable with that upfront investment.
Yeah.
But let me just add to Ed is the benefits are incredibly straightforward in our space. And what I've seen is from especially the largest REITs, the managed Wi-Fi itself stands up by itself on what the return is. And then the ancillary benefits that they get from the IoT and smart technologies that are connected to this, their back office is connected, is just gravy on top.
We need to get to the demos now. So Adelaine, could we get the demos playing?
Sure, go ahead.
Sure. All right. Then let me start. Since Patrick is on spotlight here, let's start with Gigstream. I know Patrick worked the weekend to come up with this demo, so let's play that.
Good afternoon. I'm Patrick Alves, the CEO of Gigstream, and I'm happy to share a story with you today. So Gigstream installs internet in multifamily properties. From design to construction to ongoing support, we do it all. We build a wireless mesh that allows residents to experience the internet throughout the property. Our network powers smart and IoT applications. And lastly, we provide financing options based on our partners' needs. When you look at the benefits for the resident, it's straightforward. They've said it's number 3 of the critical amenities that they need. And additionally, 90% of prospective renters will not consider a property that does not have high-speed internet. And when they move in, they want access immediately. And so with our instant on technology, you're able to connect to the internet within a few clicks. And then lastly, I talked about the wireless mesh. Residents want to experience the internet however and wherever they want, and we provide that. Now for the property owner, because there's such value to the resident, there's the ability to upcharge for that. So they drive their NOI. In addition, they need a network to power their IoT and smart applications, which provide incremental revenue streams. And then lastly is through smart technologies, there are ways that they can actually drive further efficiencies on property. Now, when we look at the traditional players, our product is superior. Managed Wi-Fi is superior over just having a modem in an apartment complex. But there's other things that we're doing to differentiate ourselves even further. One is we have invested significant dollars in our platform and will continue to do that. We believe that having the best customer experience is the way for us to win in this space. Second is we're building an ecosystem of partnerships. And we focus on relationships versus transactions because we want to build an ecosystem that provides long-term success. And then lastly is we're in 26 states and we can quickly ramp up in any new geography within 90 days based on our platform that we have and the processes that we've built. And so that's a little bit about Gigstream. I appreciate your time. And if there's any questions, feel free to contact me. Thank you.
Thanks, Patrick. We have an audience question here. I'm throwing that on the screen. So it says there are many ISPs and managed Wi-Fi providers in the US. Can you explain in practical terms how Gigstream's product delivers unique value that others don't, particularly around speed, reliability, or privacy?
Yeah, so I do think that the top players in the space, speed, reliability, are what they're focusing on, and privacy. Where we differentiate and where we've been focusing a significant amount of effort is you're signing a contract that is 5, 7, 10 years. You want a provider that's going to partner with you and that you have trust in, and trust is really important. That you have trust in that will deliver the services that are committed to and take care of your residents. And that's where we're focusing and differentiating ourselves.
Excellent. Thank you. Let's go to Dojo Networks next.
Hello, I'm Dan Myers, CEO and founder of Dojo Networks. For more than 25 years, Dojo Networks has been shaping the future of bulk internet and managed Wi-Fi, standing as a true thought leader in the industry. What set us apart is not just what we do, but how we do it. Unlike many competitors, Dojo has no outside investors. We are profitable, cash flow positive, and fully in control of our growth. Our footprint spans 4 verticals: conventional, luxury apartments, student housing, senior living, and affordable housing. Today, we serve many of the NMHC top 50 property owners and managers, as well as individual ownership groups and even single owners across the country. What's most remarkable is our 100% client retention over 25 years, a testament to both our reliability and the trust we build with our partners. We were also the first managed Wi-Fi provider to achieve SOC 2 Type 2 certification, setting a new standard for security and accountability. At the core of our success is Elemento, our proprietary software platform. Over 12 years in development, Elemento is light years ahead of the competition, offering true single pane of glass control for network performance, automation and customer management, property manager portal, and resident portal. Contact me directly for a full demo. Dojo doesn't just deliver managed Wi-Fi. With our managed Wi-Fi Plus solution, paired with WiDAS, we also solve the growing challenge of in-building cellular connectivity. The results speak for themselves. Customer satisfaction scores in the 90s month after month, support KPIs that are unmatched, calls answered by a human in under 15 seconds with over 95% resolved in less than 12 minutes. Less than 1% of residents ever even need to open a support ticket annually. Our performance has been recognized with inclusion in the upper half of the Inc. 5000. At Dojo Networks, we're not just providing internet, we're redefining how residents, property managers, and owners experience connectivity. With unmatched retention, industry-first innovations, and a culture built on customer obsession, we're proving every day why we're the most trusted partner in managed Wi-Fi. Thank you.
Excellent, Patrick. We have an audience question here from Sean Sperry. And he says, PropTech user experience, how it makes on-site staff life easier as it relates to managing resident connectivity is a key ingredient to successful partnership and deployment, pays dividends near renewal time. I'm not sure if I understood the question right, but I do not know. Do you want to take it?
It's more like a comment.
It's a comment, is it?
It's a comment, yeah.
Okay, then I have one more question coming up, and this is how does your managed Wi-Fi plus system technically handle interference and dead zones in dense multi-dwelling units, especially where there are many overlapping access points or external Wi-Fi noise?
Who do you want to take it?
No, this is for Patrick.
Oh, so this goes back to design. The biggest thing is in design is when we do the predictive heat mapping, we actually look at that interference to make sure we understand in a dense location. And a lot of these mid-rises and high-rises are very dense. And so we're already focusing on that. In addition, we've deployed AI recently in our radios. And with the AI technology with Ruckus, what we're able to do is see that we will actually in real time assess the environment and change the frequency to actually have the best customer experience. So there's two things. One is really around the design. Second is utilizing the Ruckus R1 platform and their AI capabilities.
Thanks, Patrick. We'll go with Airwave next.
The world is connected, and it's getting more connected every day. But delivering that internet to your communities has been a mess. It's a nightmare to manage. It's fragmented and unreliable. Owners are forced to settle for the broken internet given to them by faceless telecom companies too inconsiderate to even care. It doesn't have to be like this. This is Airwave, the future of your building's connectivity. Just like how your building needs a solid physical foundation, Airwave provides your building the digital foundation it needs to manage Wi-Fi in the modern world. Enable the smart home. Make your investments in smart devices pay off by connecting them to a unified internet that won't quit. Stop relying on cell signal. With fast internet blanketing the entire property, Wi-Fi calling becomes the standard. Simplify self-guided tours. With streamlined internet access, self-guided tours are automated and hassle-free. Take back control. By removing the middleman, residents pay you directly and fairly. And be in a healthy relationship. Airwave was made by people who actually care about your problems and deeply understand property management needs. This is a taste of what's possible when you have Wi-Fi built for your building by people like you. It's the solution management deserves with the reliability residents expect. The world is getting more connected every day, and the future demands a dependable foundation.
Excellent video there, Ed. I'll bring you to Spotlight, and we have an audience question from your end. How does Airwave ensure consistent high-performance Wi-Fi across diverse multifamily properties, especially older buildings with challenging layouts or infrastructure?
Yeah, so we take a very thoughtful and methodical approach. So with every property that we are evaluating, that requires a site survey and a heat map to ensure, right, that we are looking at the property holistically. So to avoid interference, to avoid dead zones. And that's how, through the site survey and design, we ensure whether it's a garden style, a mid-rise, a high-rise, dense, etc., that we have to put our eyes on every community before you would ever want to deploy managed Wi-Fi. I would say buyer beware. If anybody is looking to do managed Wi-Fi and the provider says I can do a Google Earth and give you a rough order of magnitude, I would run for the hills. Because in this business, making that investment is foundational, and having physical eyes and walking that property is what's going to ensure that it is built appropriately. Now, one thing I will tell you that I didn't have a chance to voice over on the video is that our customer support and customer experience is really our focus. At the end of the day, nothing else matters if the resident isn't able to get their issue resolved in less than 15 seconds. And then through our customer success and creating a customer experience that the resident can't get anywhere else, it is all about convenience, reliability, and stability in order to ensure that the resident's experience is one that they can't get anywhere else. That's the differentiation for Airwave.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. We need to move to the next panel, but we have been getting a lot of audience questions. So to the audience, if you have questions, please drop them at the AMA link on our portal, proptechbuzz.com. Just go to the homepage, you will find the AMA link, drop them the questions, and I'm sure we will influence the panelists here to answer them. We'll extend this for a couple of more hours. Thank you, gentlemen. Let's move to the next panel, next guests. And we have, for the next set of guests, we have Dustin. So let's get Dustin on stage. All right, Dustin is on stage here. Then we get Taylor, then we get Adam Bell, and we get Kevin. All right, the stage is yours now.
Ravi, is everybody staying from the previous panel on stage?
From the previous panel, I think I will pull you out to backstage so that you can continue listening in.
Yeah. Okay. Did you have something to present, Ravi, first, or should I just start?
No, we can just start the panel. You can welcome the guests here, and then you can start with the questions.
All right. So welcome, everyone. I have had the pleasure to talk to every one of you. And so let's dive into it. Time is passing very fast. Maybe our first question would be for Adam at Internet Subway. There's a lot of talk about managed Wi-Fi or bulk internet, but are usually very long-term contracts, right? And so my question to you is, how does Internet Subway plan for future connectivity, making those deployments future-proof?
Good question. Generally, we're doing fiber to the unit. Not always, but most of the time we're doing fiber to the unit. And the way our contracts are written, they have a base speed that we deliver at the beginning of the contract, and then a couple of years in, it increases to say 2.5 gig base. And if it's a 10-year contract, it'll go up to 5 gig after a period of time. But the owners are trying to underwrite loans and generate NOI so they can get their acquisition completed or their refi completed, and they can become better borrowers. The only way they can do that is if they can actually say with confidence that they're going to be able to earn that NOI over term. And the way that we partner with our property owners is to allow them to generate that same NOI without increasing their cost.
Okay. And my apologies. I would like to give each one of you at least a few seconds to present yourself and your company too. So why don't you go ahead, Adam?
Hey, how's it going? Adam with Internet Subway. We're based in Richmond, Virginia, but service properties up and down the East Coast and the Sun Belt. So we're excited to be here, and we like to think that we're delivering the next generation of managed Wi-Fi. So happy to be on stage with all these other esteemed companies and leaders.
Glad to have you, Adam. So I'm going to go on from the order that I see you on the screen here. So Dustin, can you tell us about your company yourself?
Yeah, Dustin Johnson. I'm the VP of MDU here at Touchstone One. We've been doing this for 23 years. We started off all the way back when it was just casinos, followed it through casinos to student housing to, high-end luxury conventional housing. And now we're doing everything from low income to, providing managed Wi-Fi across the nation to things as small as ferries and, subway systems. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dustin. Taylor, good to see you again.
Yeah, Madeline. Thank you. Hi, Taylor Jones, President and CTO of Elwood Connection. We are a national multifamily and student housing managed service provider. We're at right over 25 states right now, growing into more. Been doing this quite a long time. I think started in 2003, and Elwood has been around since 2008 in a couple different versions. Primary focus today is conventional multifamily. That is what we focus on with projects really heavily on the East Coast, Sun Belt, some activity out west. That's changing, as we all know. But we come from a customer experience focus. We got the technologists on staff. We know what we need to deliver. We know how to make the technology work. But it's who answers the phone, who picks up the email that really matters. And excited to be here and talking with y'all.
Thank you, Taylor. And last but not least, Kevin, good to see you again.
Thank you. We're at FoxQuest. We've got well over 25 years experience in the managed service provider space. We're a little unique in that we also offer a smart device or IoT, smart prop tech solution for providers, also with streaming TV as well. We do that because we believe that we can create a great, robust network and support all those devices. So before we leave, we'll run heat maps to make sure everything's working correctly. We'll make sure that they've got enough bandwidth. We'll go to all 50 states. So that's FoxQuest.
All right, cool. Thank you. So let me maybe start with the question of, we spoke about the business case being obvious for everyone in the first panel. Maybe dive into more technical matters. The role of Wi-Fi 6E, Wi-Fi 7, and 6 gigahertz spectrum play in the MDU space. How about you, Dustin? You're smiling on the question. Do you want to address that?
Yeah. I honestly, I hate talking about Wi-Fi 6E, Wi-Fi 7. I never want my owners to think about that, right? Okay. From a technical standpoint, everybody here is going to say the same thing. That Wi-Fi C opened up the 6 gigahertz spectrum. Wi-Fi 7 is faster. But I mean, let's be real. That's the blog answer. I think what it really comes down to is that most residents don't have Wi-Fi 7 devices. They don't have the radios that go into those. And so the real question becomes, how do you balance being ready for a Wi-Fi 7 network without the owner having to carry the burden of that cost today? Owners don't care about multi-link operation. They don't care. They just want their residents' thermostat to stay online all the time. So I would say, like, it's my job as a company to make sure that, you know, your equipment expires. Let's focus on your conduit, your fiber, your Cat 6A wiring. Let's future-proof your property where it is future-proofable, and upgrade your equipment when it makes sense to match resident demand.
Thank you.
I agree. I think it's much more cost effective for the customer to wait. I mean, like flat screens TV, when they first came out, they were $1,000, $2,000 a piece, and now you can go to Walmart and buy one for $500. I think that currently those APs are quite a bit more expensive, and there's quite not the need for it right now. And I think later on, it'll be more cost effective, and you'll get the latest models.
Right.
I disagree. I'm all about 6 gigahertz. I push 6 gigahertz to all of our communities. It's an altruistic band, guys. Every device that connects to 6 gigahertz gets off the congested 5 gigahertz network. So, like, I completely disagree. I push 6 gigahertz all day long. I think it's the future of Wi-Fi, and unfortunately, you're leaving experience on the table if you're not bringing it to the property. So that's what we do differently, is we push 6 gigahertz as hard as we possibly can. And, you know, look, there aren't that many devices, except Wi-Fi 6E devices started shipping in 2021. The Pixel 7 had it. I mean, so, like, I mean, we're talking, like, there are 3 generations of iPhones that had 6E. So, like, people have devices that have Wi-Fi 6E. I think that's a gross misrepresentation of the types of devices that are in apartments. But look, the new Amazon Fire Sticks have 6E. The new flagship smart TVs have 6E. So they're out there.
I like a good live debate. Maybe we can move on to this balance between seamless connectivity and device onboarding on one hand, and then balancing security on the other hand. And who wants to comment on that? Dual approach where you have conflicting interests. Maybe you, Taylor.
What are we balancing? Security and speed?
And onboarding. Making it easy to onboard versus keeping it safe, secure with WPA3 and other stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the whole thing is, it's like, I was contemplating jumping in the last discussion because, I mean, we quote both. I mean, we promote 6 gigahertz. We think it's a good thing. But to Dustin's point, if we start talking about the nerd knobs too deep, then, you lose the desire of what the property is trying to do, which is generate revenue, underwrite the deal, provide great service. If the budget can do 6 gigahertz today, it's great. We're putting them in left and right. And the platforms to do managed Wi-Fi with WPA3 exist for 6 gigahertz with multiple vendors. With the multiple PSK technology, there are some limitations, but each of the major vendors have come up with a solution, and if you know what you're doing, you can make it work. So security exists. The budget and the cost is there if you want to pay it. And for Elauwit, we offer our network as a service solution where the owners don't have to pay CapEx, and then we have the more traditional CapEx model where if the owners have the capital to put into the project, they can pay for the hardware at the beginning and do a refresh later on if that's the requirement. But I don't think we're blocked between technology and security and feature set like we were early on. I mean, as Adam said, like, this has been around since 2021 when we're at FCC Chair Patel, launched that Spectrum, which was awesome. And but it is, I mean, we are seeing, it's still a slow client adoption. I mean, they're shipping, but in the managed Wi-Fi networks, still seeing less customers with 6 gigahertz than we'd expect.
By the way, thank you, Taylor. Ravi, we have questions from the audience. Did you want to address those now, or do I wait?
Sorry, yes, there are lots of passionate questions from the audience. I think it would make for a good conversation. So let me take it from our previous panelist. Dan has a question for Adam. He says, what managed Wi-Fi hardware are you using?
It's a good question. We have a variety of hardware deployments that we've lab validated. The most recent deployments that we do is currently a hybrid of Juniper Network APs and Plume OpenSync certified devices and units with their seamless roaming platform.
Got it. There are other questions here, which is, it says, which panelists are self-made network operators versus property owner, developer backed, funded or directed?
I mean, I like to think I've been bootstrapping it since 2003 when I bought my first ISP. So I don't know. I think we all, I don't know. We have taken Zelowit. We are a privately owned company with high net worth individuals that have helped us get going. But I'll let anybody else answer that question.
Yeah, I would say at Touchstone One, we're privately owned. We've been privately owned for 23 years with no property owner developer funded, backed, or directed in any way.
Got it. There's another one here from Charles, and it says, of course, speed, low latency, network stability, and broad compatibility are essentials in a managed Wi-Fi infrastructure. But how do you promote your solution as better than your competitors offer? So maybe each of you can take turns to answer this. So primarily, they're asking for what's your differentiation against your competitors?
I think the infrastructure. Sorry, guys.
I was going to say no one else was jumping in, so yeah, I guess our main differentiators, I think, are support. You know, we just like everybody else in the industry, it's 24/7, 365 support. But all of our tier 1 through 4 are in-house. Not only that, all of our properties are custom designed. So there's no cookie cutter designs for us. You know, we start from, I think as Dan said earlier, you know, we start from the unit level and then go all the way through the full property level or even a portfolio level, look at it holistically, and then move back down from holistic back down to unit level. So fully customization for everything.
Okay. Adam, do you want to go next?
I mean, Dustin said it pretty well. Like, I mean, straight up, we do a lot of the same stuff. So you plan, every property is a little different. You need to execute according to the plan. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think we all do very similar things. And so if you take latency and bandwidth out of the picture, it's experience and support, right? It's like our favorite KPI is silence. So when the phone doesn't ring, that means that we've done our job. Like we want to be as invisible as possible to the residents. It should just work. They shouldn't have to think about us. They shouldn't have to ever log in for support or call us. If they do, we're there. That's what we care about.
Taylor, what's your differentiation?
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. I mean, it's keeping it simple, being in the background, providing great experience, great customer service. You know, silence is good, but you know, when you do support the customer, making sure you can resolve their issues in one touch, making sure there's a live person answering the phone, helping them immediately. You know, it's all about the infrastructure at the property, putting in good product, and we all work with similar vendors. I mean, there's not that many of them, but we all work with the most general typical vendors, and they've got great product support, and putting in the right infrastructure with fiber as close to the edge to the customer on both sides, basically getting it all the way out to the data center and then as close to the end user as possible, and you know, providing a great Wi-Fi experience by using the latest technologies and you know, generative AI and automation that's coming out. You know, taking advantage of all those tools, but really the resident shouldn't have to deal with any of that. The whole point is they get a password and they get online and they're happy. I mean, that's the job that we all are doing, and we're all doing a good job at it too. So I'm excited to see this space keep growing and the owners keep wanting to pay for it and buy it.
Kevin, do you want to go next?
Sure, absolutely. For us, it's about, we've talked about it before, but it's about the relationship, not just the relationship with the property management company or the property owners, but with the actual property manager and the maintenance team. So it's about training and communicating and letting them know how to operate it, because it's new. there's a lot of fear. And what if it doesn't happen? What if it doesn't work? And what if people have problems? They're going to come and they're going to complain to us. And we want to take all that fear and anxiety away from them. We want them to feel confident that this is going to work. It's going to make everybody's lives easier. And we do that through training. How do we onboard? How do we move a tenant in with a simple email? But we got to train them on how to do that. We got to train them on how to move a tenant out, all those little details and nuances. So we build a relationship with the property so that if they have an issue or whatever, they feel comfortable enough to call us, we leave, QR codes. If there's any issues or whatnot that they need to resolve, they call us. They don't deal with the office. And so that relieves a lot of anxiety with them. So, we want everybody to be happy when tenants, but not just the tenants, but the property as well. So we build those relationships, we foster those relationships, we give them that training and we give them that confidence so that they're talking about it to their tenants to say, hey, guess what's coming? This is going to be great. And that's the relationship that we build with with everybody in the property.
Thank you. Edlin, I would like to step in and talk about the future outlook. Okay, there is a lot of disruption that is happening. Taylor just mentioned about AI and automation. So I would like to each of you to take turns and also share about where is the future looking like? Where is the next disruption and innovation going to be in this space? Since you are all actually building the future, you're at the cutting edge, you're taking the industry forward. Where are you investing on your own roadmap for the next, say, couple of years? Maybe if you can share some light there on the future outlook of this industry, that will be great. Who wants to go next?
I'll start. I'll go. No, I think what's all, AI, I always looked at it as automation intelligence. We're all trying to make activities happen faster without human involvement, using large LLM and other technology to basically look at the different network platforms. You may have switches from one vendor, access points from another, edge equipment from a third, especially in a conversion property where you're taking over an existing network, and being able to analyze trends and pull those issues out and resolve problems for customers before they even know about it, before the NOC even has to see it. How do we cut down on events in general? Access points really truly adapting to co-channel interference on their own, adjusting power and channel environments. They all say they do it. They all do it to some extent, but it could all be done better. And I think you look at how the hardware vendors are all investing in it as well. They realize they need to make improvements. So on our roadmap, it's taking advantage of the vendor solutions, but then also internally, it's using our own internal LLM to basically analyze our various different data sources, through a data lake, and really make it easier for our staff to respond to customers, and things just happen in the background without human involvement, as I said before, so that the customer just has the best experience. It's simple. They're online. If something is happening with an access point, it's handling it and fixing it on its own. Network outages are proactively being responded to without a human having to touch it or triage it. Those types of involvements are where we're using AI, and that's really just on the short roadmap. 5 years from now, it's going to be very different.
Excellent. Somebody else wants to go in on where are you investing in the future?
I would agree with Taylor. It's in the hardware vendors are trying to do things like radio resource management, and they do device typing. So every time a device connects to the network, they identify the device, and then they know how that device wants to interact with the Wi-Fi network. So as the vendors get better at handling those things, we're going to see great advancement in Wi-Fi experiences. But from a resident or a property team experience, or even a support experience, using AI to faster identify paths towards solutions or escalations with all the information that's needed within one pane of glass, or even in native speak. I think those are all the things that'll happen and evolve over the next couple of years.
Okay. Is there anybody wants to step in, or shall we start with the product demos? All right, let's play the last demo that we have. And it is from Touchstone.
Believe me, I've been there. We're gonna be fine. Wi-Fi is just this way, guys. I understand, sir. I understand. Just keep refreshing.
Wait. Why is everyone leaving my building?
Hey, right. I hate to say this, but the internet in your building is super spotty, and everyone really needs a solid, reliable signal.
I've been on hold with tech support for over an hour.
You said it was a leading cable service and would be 99.99999% reliable.
Yeah, well, with Touchstone One internet services and full-service Wi-Fi, there's no lagging, glitching, freezing, outages, or being half-loaded. So that all of your residents can stay seamlessly connected anywhere in the building. Plus, they can almost double your resident retention rates from 2.5 to 4 years, and they handle everything. Am I right, Martin?
Hallelujah.
Love that guy.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And let's not forget support. The average wait time is 17 seconds or less, which means happier residents and less concessions. You're not wearing a pants.
Oh, that is not good.
Touchstone One Internet Services, a higher level of connection.
I like that. That was a good video.
That was a good one. Yeah. So, Dustin, there's a question for you. So let me first bring spotlight on you. I think all credit to your marketing team there. So you have a question here. How do you differentiate your managed Wi-Fi solution versus generic off-the-shelf network offerings, especially in terms of reliability, scalability, and custom engineering?
So I would say everything we do starts with custom engineering, whether that be a new build, greenfield project, or a brownfield project. I would say something off the shelf is very generic, designed to work for everybody, and for a lot of owners, that's just not what they need. When you have a brownfield property that is coax built, that has brick walls throughout, that, you're looking at signal degradation because they have chicken wire in between it. That's a completely different design. That's a completely different deployment. That's a completely different layout. Like some properties I bring in fiber. Some properties, they already have existing fiber. It's really about that customization. Nothing, and I think for most of my peers on the call, they're going to say the same thing. No two properties are the exact same. You have different challenges at every one, and it's addressing those challenges and making sure it's what works best for that specific owner is what matters the most.
Thanks, Dustin. We have the next demo from Internet Subway.
Hey there. I'm Adam Bell, the CEO of Internet Subway. Internet Subway is a managed service provider that delivers seamless connectivity experiences for multifamily property owners, property managers, and residents alike. Our teams design, install, and operate next-generation managed Wi-Fi systems for multifamily communities, both new construction and retrofit opportunities. We do this by providing big bandwidth to each apartment, pushing the 6 gigahertz Wi-Fi spectrum, and ensuring the onboarding experience is seamless and service is live on move-in day. The experience extends beyond what I just described. We do offer speed upgrades above and beyond the 1 gig base that we deliver, and residents can sign up for 2.5, 5, or 8 gig upgrades. Oftentimes, the 8 gig upgrade will have a little bit of headroom. In the example I'm showing you right now, we are connected to our lab. Our lab is identical to a multifamily community, so this is a very, very similar experience to what a resident could get if they upgraded their speed. Again, low latency, big bandwidth. We like to juice them up. If you want it, we've got it, and the experience is there to match.
Excellent.
My title says network nerd. Just keep that in mind, everyone,
So Adam, we have a question for you as well. And it says, what are the key technological or architectural elements in Internet Subway's fiber plus managed Wi-Fi platform that differentiates from other multifamily ISPs or internet providers?
Like, look, the underlying infrastructure is going to be the same for a lot of us. Like we need a path to the unit. We need to be able to split capacity that we bring in at one point in the property and then distribute it out throughout the community. So the underlying infrastructure that all of us on this call are likely going to use is very similar in many, many cases. We push fiber to the unit if there's not. I mean, in many, many cases, that's what we're doing. New construction, we're doing fiber to the unit. Oh, there's a question.
No, it's the same question. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So like from a design perspective, it's generally our designs are going to be XGS-PON, and then we'll do the same Wi-Fi designs as everyone else, making sure that we have coverage in the areas that need coverage. Just getting it to the unit and with fiber but again, everyone here is utilizing the similar infrastructure. So we're not architecting anything unique in that regard.
Excellent. I think we are done with all the demos here. So I would give charge. Oh, I think we lost Adlin, right?
I'm here.
Adlin is here. Okay. Adlin, I give the charge back to you to wrap up the proceedings here.
Well, would you like me to continue asking questions here or just conclude?
No, we can. Oh, I see Patrick is still here. I would, because we are going to do a segment on the future outlook. Okay. I would like to bring Patrick back on stage so that he could contribute on his future outlook. Where does he see the industry moving forward? Where do you see the disruptions and innovations happening, and what is there in your roadmap, Patrick? Maybe if you could, since you are still on the backstage, I thought I'll pull you in because we will be creating a clipping just on the future outlook later, right?
I think there's two things to monitor. One is regulation. You know, we went through the pain with the FCC last year, and you know that dissipated, which is fantastic. But we see, you know, AB 1414 actually occurring in California where there's regulation. So regulation could actually hold back the explosive growth in the space. I think there's going to be explosive growth. The other thing that's been talked about for a long time is consolidation. I believe that you need scale to win long term. And so there will be consolidation in the space. It's a very fragmented space. There's a lot of really good players. But there's no dominant one player. I think that there can be a couple of players at the end. And I do think that you'll see probably over the next 18 months that there'll be consolidation occurring.
Excellent. I think that's a wrap for the day. But what is so interesting is you all, in spite of being competitors, you have all come together in a healthy spirit of true sportsmanship and a healthy collaboration, and trying to raise awareness in the industry. So thank you for that. Thank you for making that happen. I'm just curious, is there any way that you competitors can also find opportunities for any kind of partnership, or are there any opportunities there? I'm just curious. Or
there absolutely is. Like, so for example, Taylor, myself, and Ed are part of a broadband council that actually has been working on understanding regulation and helping China influence it. So yeah, there are some of us that have been working together, and I do think there are further opportunities for this group to connect. There's a lot to learn from there's a lot of smart people on this call. So it would be, there's interesting things that we could all leverage off each other.
Excellent. So we have Dan also joining in. So Dan, since I said we'll be creating a segment on the future outlook, and I did not have your bite there, do you want to shed some light on where is the disruptions and innovations going to be there in the coming future, and what's your roadmap contributing?
Yeah, I mean, I do think more and more properties are going to go to the managed Wi-Fi route versus the MSOs. Like the industry is saying this is the direction to go, where the owners own their assets versus a third party that controls their resident experience. We've talked about the most important resident experience being their internet. And if their internet's not working, it's problematic. And in many cases where they're handing it off to a cable company, they have no control over that. As where as things are going, I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit earlier. I mean, Wi-Fi 7, deploy today, tomorrow, and into the future. And as things evolve, because, the speed, the latency, and the jitter are important, and building networks with redundancy. So I think more and more property owners are going to realize that little bit extra to have a redundant circuit, because a lot of them very cost conscious, which I understand, of course, but having that redundancy is key. Building networks that can do multi-gig, up to 10 gig and beyond is really important. So deploying infrastructure that will last for the future is key in these networks that we all build.
Excellent. And Daniel, I want to ask the same question. Do you see any potential collaborations between competitors? Are they going to remain competitors with and stuff like that? How do you see competition here with so many players operating?
Was that to me?
Yeah, that's for for Daniel. Do you see any potential collaborations, any way that these, or consolidations maybe? How do so many players coexist together? Is there any commonality between them?
There's so much space. I mean, there's so much demand right now for managed Wi-Fi. I mean, and for what it is we deliver. I don't know that we all run into each other. I mean, obviously there are RFP processes that we do, but I heard earlier, a lot of people are building very similar networks. We're doing lots of takeovers and rescues from previous providers that didn't do it right and didn't build it right. So there are clearly some providers in the industry that are struggling and failing. So there's going to be a lot of takeover work and fixing those networks. But it's really important that people that have deployed those early adopters don't get dissuaded from putting in the proper networks for the future.
Excellent, Daniel. Thank you so much. I hand it over to Edlin to do the last, just wrapping up, just summarizing the entire conversation and closing the proceedings here.
Thank you, Ravi. Thanks everyone for sharing your thoughts. I will probably could be spending hours discussing the different elements of this business. Maybe next time we can spend more time on discussing, the best way to measure, collect customer reviews. I know some of the folks don't like Google reviews very much because usually people tend to put their reviews when they're not happy. It's definitely an area where we as a company want to spend more time on. Is it doing customer service directly from the residents or the property owners, or a mix of these? But it's definitely a very exciting space to continue to watch. We certainly are spending a lot of time in our research on this space, because I've been working on the Wi-Fi for many years, and there's always been the question, how do you monetize Wi-Fi? And multifamily is definitely an area where Wi-Fi is being monetized. It has a clear ROI for all of the stakeholders, and increasingly, looking at IoT. Last week I had meetings with the CSA to discuss Matter, which is the new protocol to put together all of this IoT talking to each other. And I think that MDU is an area where Matter is gonna matter, so to speak. So yeah, again, if happy to contribute to this ongoing discussion, and thanks for having me today.
Thank you so much, Edlin. And as I said, we will be embedding this in this video. Of course, we will be editing it to make it more compact, and we will be embedding this video in the managed Wi-Fi portal, so that whoever comes to this portal, they are exposed to this video for the next 12 months at least. Okay, so please ensure that you are promoting this portal to your customers and stuff like that, so that we can have more conversations on the portal. The portal has a buying guide. The portal will have continuously new content getting posted. So whoever follows that portal will keep getting these new content onto their inbox if you are following this portal. So there's a lot of exciting stuff coming. So please educate your network and get them to follow this portal. With that, I cannot thank you enough for your patience and time, and also cannot thank so much about your marketing team that have contributed towards making this campaign a success. We are not done yet. We'll be promoting a lot of things in the next couple of weeks with regards to this campaign. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you around. Bye.
Everybody.